was just saying, outlined its strategy to cut the French budget deficit and reduce its debts. Finance Minister Michel Sapin says he's committed to bringing down the deficit to the EU threshold of 3% of GDP by 2015. Sapin says it's crucial for France to maintain its credibility in the markets, but the plan has already caught flack. Critics say it's dependent on growth forecasts that are simply too optimistic. Delano de Souza has more.
The French government is hoping business will add some spark to the economy. They're sticking to their guns with the Responsibility Pact announced in January to reduce payroll taxes by 30 billion euros in hopes it will encourage hiring. It's also outlined plans to cut public spending by 50 billion in 2 years. The country said it would respect its deficit reduction targets it's made to the EU. Authorities want France's deficit under 3% of its GDP by 2015 after granting it a 2-year extension. The government's hoping an increase in growth will bring it some relief.
The Responsibility and Solidarity Pacts will allow us to increase growth by half a point by 2017 and also generate roughly 200,000 additional jobs.
The government also increased its growth forecast. The economy is projected to grow by 1% this year, 1.7% in 2015, and 2.25% the following 2 years. A value watchdog made up of auditors and economists have dubbed optimistic.
I prefer a government that's optimistic because they put in place new measures which will have an impact on growth than a pessimistic government. And you don't have a pessimistic government in front of you.
The new plan has abandoned the president's promise to balance the budget by the end of his term in office in 2017. It will now be sent to the European Commission for inspection.
Companies in the Eurozone are on the road to recovery. Business activity in the 18 countries that use the single currency is close to a 3-year high. So says the research firm Market and its Purchasing Managers Index. It came in at 54 this month, with anything over 50 signalling an expansion. It was the 10th consecutive month that the reading cleared that key threshold. Now, German business activity and German companies are seen to be leading that upturn, but France came out with a lackluster individual reading of just 50.5. That's a fall from the previous month, and economists say that it is upping the pressure on the French government. Some more Eurozone news now. Greece has cleared another hurdle during its efforts to get out of its deep financial crisis. The European Commission has confirmed that the country attained a primary surplus of 1.5 billion euros last year. It means that before interest payments, the Greek government had more money coming in than going out. Creditors have previously said that they would consider more aid for Greece if it reaches a primary surplus, and the Greek government says it's hoping for more help from the outside, seeing the primary surplus figures from 2013. We're going to turn now to another troubled Eurozone country. For the first time in 3 years, Portugal has sold 10-year bonds at a debt auction. Demand was strong and Portugal raised 750 million euros at a borrowing cost of 3.6%. That's a sharp difference from just 2 years ago, when borrowing costs for Portugal were above 17%. It fuels Portuguese hopes of being able to exit an EU and IMF-funded bailout later on this year. We're going to take a look at the markets now and at how they've been reacting to all of this European data. Despite the better than expected PMI figures from the Eurozone, European shares, they closed to the downside, as you can see here, with the CAC 40 in Paris down 0.75%. The focus was very much on China and on disappointing data coming out of that economy. In the United States this hour, meanwhile, shares are also generally below the flat line, although the Dow Jones Industrial Average has recouped some of its previous losses. It's currently down only marginally. Worse than expected home sales weighed on shares, and so are disappointing results from AT&T. Let's take a look at some other company news that's been shaping trading this Wednesday. Higher production of commercial jetliners helped Boeing in the first quarter. The American plane maker has posted a profit of $965 million for the January to March period. That's 13% lower than last year, but better than many analysts had expected. Boeing shares are increasing in New York as the company has also raised its full-year profit forecast. Meanwhile, shares in UK-based company AB Foods were among the winners on this side of the Atlantic. Its quarterly profits rose between January and March, driven by a strong performance by clothing chain Primark. Its operating profit was up a quarter in the first quarter. Primark has also announced plans to expand in the United States, with the first store opening next year in Boston. And finally, shares in French cable company Numéricable gained almost 9% in Paris trading. It came on reports that the firm had raised more than 8 billion euros by selling bonds. It's the biggest sale of junk bonds on record, and it's meant to finance the company's purchase of the French mobile network SFR. Okay, that is the business news for now. I'll be back again in an hour, Laura, with more business headlines.
We look forward to it, Marcus. Thank you very much indeed. But now let's get some sports. Dan Levy's here in the studio. Hi there, Dan.